we're here together with 150 police officers from across the region to first to get to know them better, to understand the program better, and set ourselves up to do an evaluation of the program, which will be the first ever evaluation of the G.R.E.A.T program in the region.
When they realized that Central America had similar gang problems, they brought it to Central America in 2002, and it's been running, or it had been running nonstop until COVID, without an evaluation. So ours is the first evaluation ever to see whether the program this program, which was developed in the US, is working as well here as it is there. And that's what we're doing. So we did a small or a rapid assessment last year. We are presenting the results in this conference, and we are also gathering more data because we are conducting focus group discussions with the police officers that are attending, which will help us better understand how the program operates and what they think of the effectiveness of the program.
They are seeing a lot of difference on a case-by-case basis among youth who go through the program. There's a lot of stories of success of students who came from troubled backgrounds, who didn't have role models, and the police are really able to step in and fulfill some of those roles for the youth, and provide them with some amount of accompaniment, and show them that police don't only work on the repression side of violence, but they also work on the prevention side, that they're looking to get to youth and others who might eventually fall into the trap of gang membership, and work with them before that happens. And so we're learning a lot about those cases. We're also seeing from the rapid evaluation that we did in the fall, a lot of positive results in terms of the attitudes towards gangs. As youth learn about what might be some of the pitfalls or some of the challenges of a life in a gang, they are raising their awareness and their negative concepts of what might happen if they join a gang. And then the larger evaluation will help us really unpack that and other results in terms of whether or not they seek more risk, whether or not they actually join gangs at a different rate than those who don't go through the program, whether they commit acts of delinquency that are similar to what gangs do at any different rate, and what their respect is for authority. That's a big piece of what we're seeing anecdotally from the stories here, is that developing that relationship is very important. And we want to be able to see if that then carries out or carries through in the larger data set of do attitudes towards police officers change with participation in the program.
So what we're learning overall is that G.R.E.A.T is having an impact on youth, not only in terms of the beliefs and the attitudes they have that might make them more likely to join a gang, but also more likely to have a good life. We've learned through the success stories that we've been collecting of youth that have changed their future altogether. They want to continue school. They have better attitudes. They have more soft skills. Some of them actually ended up being policemen themselves, even when they didn't tolerate or they didn't think well of police in the beginning. And as I said, this doesn't only affect their likelihood of joining a gang, but their likelihood of having a good, successful life in their countries, and at some point be more willing to stay there and not looking for alternatives elsewhere.
Notre Dame is really showing how it can bring the strong academic background, the strong methodologies, the lessons learned from other programs to evaluate and see what the impact is, so that we can appropriately allocate resources towards programs that work. And so we can improve those programs to have the most impact possible. How can we, as Notre Dame, be involved and lift the voices of these youth who are going through the program, of the police who are giving the program, just say what's really working here, what can we learn from this to replicate in other ways to not only make an impact on the levels of violence in these communities, but also the migration intentions in these communities.
Yeah. Actually, think of this as a chain of good, right? We are working with people that are very more motivated and who want to do good in their communities. Uh, and we are helping them with our willingness to do better and what we know how to do that well.
Our experience working on similar programs in the region, looking at violence prevention efforts through workforce development, through rehabilitation programs in prisons, past work in Mexico and El Salvador and Honduras, showed that we have the toolkit, and we've used the toolkit before to measure these kinds of changes in youth, and to be able to really point to the different, not only the overall picture of does a youth end up in committing acts of delinquency, but what is it about their social and emotional well-being that contributes to that propensity to commit acts of delinquency. And that level of detail is really important to understanding why and how these programs work. And so that background, I think, led the State Department to think that we were a good fit for this evaluation.
Yeah. I think that in addition to all that, it's also about our partnerships, right? And the fact that we work with people in all these countries, we knew who to work with, and that we could actually make a larger team through partnership uh, with people who have expertise in the
We really put our partnerships and our focus, our outward focus first. We're very interested and aware of what's happening at the university, how we train our students, how we produce research that's important for our fields of study, but mostly that is actionable and that involves the voices from the region. And that ability to spend time and effort and exert effort in developing those partnerships, developing those relationships is very important because it doesn't happen overnight. This is after years and over a decade, maybe even decades of relationship building that we're able to knock on the right doors, we're able to call up the right people, we're able to form the right partnerships to make this work happen. And I think that's the special sauce. It's this merging of a think tank and NGO, operational NGO mentality together with the university environment that really makes what we do special.